Welcome. In this video, we want to focus on the cooling user interface and understand how a cooling user can be linked to a cooling company. If you are a user that just registered on the Cultivate app and you have logged in for the first time, after the tutorial and the cooling user survey, your screen will look something like this. You are in the dashboard screen and you see here on the top that you are not linked to any company nor to any cooling unit. This is because you haven't stored any crops and you have not been added to any of the available cooling units in Cultivate. This is totally okay if, for example, you have registered as a cooling user or consumer, but you're interested just in purchasing produce from the application, in which case you can navigate to the marketplace to see what's available for sale. However, if you are a farmer or a vendor who's interested in using cold storage, then what you would like to do is you would like to get connected to a cooling company. And how can you do that? The way in which this works is that you can click on the side menu, navigate to account details and into personal details, and here you will find the cooling user import code. You can click on it to actually copy this to the clipboard, and this is the code that you should give to the cold room operator the first time that you visit a cold room. In this way, the cold room operator can add you to the list of their cooling users, and you can then start doing the first check-in for your crops into one of the cooling units that the cold room operator is managing. So let's see how that process works. We have copied to the clipboard our cooling user import code. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna log out of this interface where my user, who's called Franca, and I log in into the interface of a cold room operator to show you how the process of adding your cooling user import code works from the operator perspective. So I'll input the details of my operator account. This is as well a test account. I click on login and I'm now in the operator account. From the operator account, what the operator can do is that they can go to management and cooling users, and here they can click on the add button and they can click on add user by code. At this point, they are gonna paste here the code that you have given them. Either you can tell this to them or you can send this to them, for example, by SMS or WhatsApp. This is the code. When I click on import, the cold room operator sees your details. Remember that the user was called Franca, the gender, the phone number, and the language of choice, and the operator can click on add. What this means is that now our Franca Porti account has been added here to the list of cooling users that are linked to the company that the cold room operator is a part of. And this symbol here means that this user has a smartphone. If we now log out from this account and go back into the cooling user account, we'll see what has changed. So I'll try to log in into my cooling user or consumer account. And when we do that, we see that now we are linked to a company. And this is because our cooling user import code has been added to the list of the cooling user. You can imagine that in case you do this operation with multiple companies, then here from the drop-down, you can choose more than one company. And out of the company list, you will be able to also choose your cooling unit. We cannot do that yet, so there is no drop-down at the second level here. And this is because we have not done any check-in, so we have nothing in storage in any of the cooling unit. So to show you how this page will change when you do a check-in, what I'll do is I'll log out again, I'll log in back to the cold room operator account, I'll quickly do a check-in, and then I'll show you that the items that you have been checked in are now will now be available in the dashboard. So let's do this quickly. I sign in again, I switch to the cold room operator account. Click on login, and I am in the cold room operator interface. From here, the cold room operator can start a check-in. I'll go quickly here because there is another video where this is explained in more details. Yeah, I'm looking for this user that we discussed, Franca Porti, that was just imported. I add some crates for her. Let's imagine some guava maybe. Just 2 crates. I confirm, and this concludes the check-in. What this means is that the cold room operator on their interface can see the 2 crates of guava belonging to Franca. Now what I'll do is I'll log out and I'll log in with the Franca cooling user account. And what I'll show you here is that the user will now see those crates of guava in their dashboard. Inputting as usual the phone number and the password, clicking on login. And what you'll see now is that not only you see a company drop down, but you also see a cooling unit drop down. In this case, the operator has done for us a check-in in the cold room, which is called Adonai's Foods 1. And indeed, I can see that in this unit, there are my 2 crates of guava that have been just checked in, as I showed you. Again, once you have done more check-ins in cooling units of different companies, you'll be able to select the right cooling unit you want to look at by selecting the company and then selecting out of the list of the cooling units. This concludes this video where we have shown how the cold room, how cooling user account can be linked to a cooling company for the first time. It's important to keep in mind that the reverse is also possible. It means that it's also possible that if you are a cooling user, the operator is registering your phone number, and then the same phone number can be used by yourself to sign up as a cooling user or consumer. So in that case, you'll sign up here as a cooling user or consumer. It's important that you use the same phone number that you have given to the cold room operator to register you. And after you have completed these steps, you can log in for the first time with your phone number and password, and you'll be able there to see in your dashboard potentially the crops that you have already stored into the cold room.